Hey guys, Andrew here with Verb. So we're gonna be talking about some baby gear that I regret. Now, it's not so much what I regret buying, but I just think that there are better places to spend your money. So we're gonna be talking about some, buy this, not that kind of a thing. But before we get started, I wanna give you a quick update on the course that's currently in development for soon-to-be dads. It's a pregnancy course designed just for guys. If you wanna stay up to date on that, we're gonna be launching in early 2021, and you can sign up for our newsletter at dadverb.com to stay up to date on all the latest details and releases. So, with that said, let's get started. So to kick things off, I'm gonna start with baby clothes. That's the one thing that I really don't think that you need to spend too much money on. I see lots of parents going all in on different newborn size clothes, and they're really cute and fun. But other than that one Instagram shot, really, they're gonna be wearing it a couple times before they're gonna grow out of it so quickly. So I wouldn't divert too much of your budget toward baby clothes. The next thing on the list are gonna be Swaddles, which is a very popular thing that parents like to stock up on. But I would say that some babies, you don't really know their tendencies. Some might want their hands up, some might want them down, some don't even want to be swaddled at all. So before you go all in on Swaddles, I would say, test the waters first, see what your baby's tendencies are, and then start buying Swaddles based off of, what their preferences are. Don't stock up beforehand too much. Number 3, button-up onesie pajamas. I personally can't stand those snap pajamas. If you're gonna go with those onesie pajamas, I would either go with the magnets or the zip-ups. The snaps always took forever. It just made changings more difficult. And God forbid I was one snap off, I'd have to undo everything and then redo it. It's just easier when you're able to zip up or magnet. I would definitely go with not snaps. Next on my list is gonna be diaper genies. Now, I've never really been a fan of diaper genies from the very beginning. I always felt that they just didn't do a good job of containing the smells, and I would always smell the diapers throughout the nursery. So what we did was we pivoted and we went with Ubbi, and I've been happy ever since. Because of its steel construction, I think it contains the smells a lot better, and you're not having to buy into the proprietary blue bags of the diaper genie, which cost about 15 bucks a pop or something, which over time will cost you a lot of money. Ubbi, on the other hand, was $70 up front, higher cost, but we haven't really spent a dime on the garbage bags. We just use our standard Costco garbage bags. So in the long run, I think that was a much better investment for us, and it did a better job at containing smells. So I would definitely go Ubbi over diaper genie. For the record though, changing the Ubbi it smells like the devil. You open that thing up and it's the worst smell that comes wafting into your face. That is a downside, but overall, Ubbi still, that's my top choice. Okay, so I'm gonna move on and talk about some products that are typically a little bit more expensive and are also quite popular, but I genuinely don't think that you need to put the money in for this. And the first on the list is gonna be Dock-A-Tot, which I know is controversial. It is very popular among a lot of parents, but just hear me out, let me make my case for this, okay? The main reason why I would recommend not going with a Dock-A-Tot is because it's technically an unsafe option. And actually, our friends to the north of us, Canada, they actually don't have access to a Dock-A-Tot because their government won't allow it to be sold there. And on top of that, Consumer Reports actually linked the Dock-A-Tot and similar products to at least 12 deaths over a 6-year span. And by the way, Consumer Reports are also the ones who initially broke the story that led to the eventual recall of the popular Fisher-Price Rock and Play. Yeah, they found some things that are a little bit more questionable with regards to the Dock-A-Tot. Now, over time, I did notice that the brand has changed their tune a little bit, and they stopped showing it being used as a co-sleeper altogether. Instead, now they're really pushing safe sleep campaigns on their social channels, and they seem to have recently updated their FAQs, emphasizing that it's not a crib, bassinet, or cradle. The same reasons why you don't have a bumper around a crib is the same reason why a Dock-A-Tot isn't a safe sleeping option. It's a suffocation risk. So ultimately, based off of the reporting and the new marketing, a Dock-A-Tot really is nothing more than a lounger for a baby to rest in when they're awake. It's a lounger. It's a $200 lounger. I would much rather spend 40 bucks for the Boppy newborn lounger or $60 for the Fisher-Price Dome as alternate options to the Dock-A-Tot. The next piece of expensive gear that I kind of regret buying, I really don't think you need, is gonna be the Hatch Baby Grow, which is a changing pad that looks like it was designed by Apple. It's really nice, really sleek looking. It's a scale that also doubles as a changing pad. I really don't think you need to spend upwards of $100, $200. I don't even know what the current price point is anymore. I just know that it's more than 30 bucks, which you don't need to pay that for a changing pad. The scale isn't really something that we use super often to justify the cost. It was cool, but again, not really worth the cost. I would just go with a simple changing pad that you get off of Amazon. Before we move on, I want to take a quick moment to thank our sponsor, Hobby Hobby, for making all of these videos happen. Hobby Hobby is the easiest way to support bilingual learning for your kids without screens. Their books paired with the reading wand teaches kids accurate pronunciation, and parents don't need to be native speakers. I'm trying to push more Spanish on my son, and based off of his interactions with the books, he's starting to pick it up a little bit.
6. Safe.
If you're interested and you want to learn more or pick up Hobby Hobby, you can find their latest releases through the link below. Okay, so moving on with the high-end gear that I regret, or I just don't think that you need, the Owlet camera. Of all of the high-end connected monitors that are currently in the market, I would say the Owlet is kind of one of the weaker ones. I hate to fanboy Nanit so much. I think that Nanit is just a better monitoring system overall. It's stronger, has better connectivity. I think it's got better quality. Owlet, I think people have had their fair share of issues with it. My friend Chris.
I do not recommend this thing. It really does nothing for you. You're better off buying like a $20 Ring camera, $30 Ring camera. It's pretty pointless.
He made a pivot to something cheaper. He's had a better experience, but I've just heard way too many issues with Owlet, more than any other connected baby monitor that's out there. All right, so next on the list is gonna be another really popular option, and that's the 4Moms Mamaroo Swing. Now, in my experience, you're putting in a lot of money for something that your kids may or may not actually like. Both of our kids, they couldn't really sit in a Mamaroo for more than like 5 minutes at a time, and then they were over it. They were never really comforted by it. Other kids, on the other hand, parents swear by it. It's like amazing. So I would say that, if you're putting in a lot of money into this, just be warned that you may not get the right value out of it. So buying it secondhand may be a better option. You gotta do your due diligence and hunting for the right thing. But yeah, sometimes it might not be the best thing for you. Any of the Fisher-Price, Graco options are gonna suit you just fine. You don't need to spend more than $100 on it. So I'm gonna round out my list here, and the last thing I'm gonna say that I guess I kind of regret was overpriced high-end bassinets. I really don't think you need to spend that much on a high-end bassinet. This particular one that I'm talking about is the Halo Bassinest. I got it, I returned it, but that's also inclusive of the Snoo and the 4Moms Rocking Bassinet. Now, again, there are plenty of parents out there that swear by these things, that they love them, that they're like, this is great. But really, all you really need for a good bassinet is a firm sleep surface and an open air system so that there's no place for them to suffocate. Really, those are the basic requirements that should be met, and you can find a lot of great options for under $100 that meet those. Now, I'm not saying like the Bassinets and Snoo are the worst, don't ever buy them. If you wanna buy them, go for it. You're probably gonna like it, honestly. But if you're going for a cost value perspective, I think that the Kiko Lulago might be a good fit for you. The Graco Travel Light Crib, the Even Flow Loft, if you wanna spend up a little bit more. Something really cool to pick up is the Guava Lotus, or even the Nuna Senna Air. Not only are those, those meet the requirements, but they're all portable options, the one that I just listed off. And if you're anything like us, we cared about portability. That was a big factor into our buying decision. We went back and forth between our in-laws a lot. It was nice to just be able to move the bassinet to a different part of the house or a different house altogether and have that same exact sleep situation for our baby. Another thing to consider is just the fact that you're only using a bassinet for a few months. We used ours for 4 to 5 months before we transitioned to a crib. So again, it doesn't really make much sense to drop hundreds of dollars into something that's only gonna be a couple months. I would save a little bit more. I would spend under $100 if you can, or get something like a Guava Lotus, because that's actually like a portable player that can be used for multiple months or even years. Again, this is just one guy's opinion. I think in many cases, a lot of people are gonna disagree with me, which I totally get. Leave those comments down below. I think it helps other parents be informed and make better buying decisions. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button down there. It looks like a thumbs up. For more videos and reviews for new parents, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching this video, and come back for the next one. God bless. Later.